All right, so the name of the game today is to get all this wood processed up. Temperatures are already down in the teens at night here, and winter is pretty much just already set in, and so it's not even November yet, so it'll be interesting to see what January looks like around here. But I've already got a cutting station made over here. I'm going to swivel this around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I cut off a big piece of this log, or this tree here, which actually looks like it was the one that was cut off from this stump up top, and just kind of fell over in this area. This goes all the way down, and it's kind of holding a barrier back to all the wood that I've put in this area. But this is a nice cutting area. I can just easily throw a log in here and then just cut it. It'd be nice if I elevated this a little bit, so I may put some rocks underneath it, but for right now it's working just fine. And then I can kick stuff off here over the side too and cut stuff if I need it. So we're just going to go through all the wood today, work our butt off, and get as much wood processed as we can. I'm currently cleaning out my stove. Ran it for about 4 days and only did some minimal ash removal. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean out the entire firebox here. And then I also want to clean out my stovepipe. I forgot to get creosote remover, which is like this kind of like sandy kind of mixture that you can get at the hardware store. And that really helps to minimize the like gunk buildup on the inside of your stove box and also your stovepipe. So gonna get this all cleaned out, and then I want to make a trip over to one of the rivers close to the place today to see if we can spot any bears. All right, so as you can tell, the snow has not fallen off there yet, even though I made the adjustment to the front guy line that holds the A-frame in place for the front part of the tent here. And so we're going to go outside, and I think it's dumping like crazy right now, but we're going to go out and knock this off. And let's take a look at it real quick. Yeah, it's really dumping. I'm really glad I cleaned out the deck earlier. That was a really productive move. So let's go out here and get this taken care of. Wow. Alright, so here's my bear fence, the electric fence that I have up. Here's kind of showing how much snow we've got so far. Here's looking back at the tent. Man, I am floored there's already this much snow going on. It's not even November yet. I mean, we're still in October, so this is a lot of snow. So I want to come back here though and check this out and look back this way, because it's a pretty cool view with these little pine trees. Oh yeah, it's full on winter, that's for sure. They're saying only 3 inches. It says it's going to stop at 3 o'clock, and it's almost 3 o'clock, and I don't know, it doesn't really look like it's stopping. So these trees sure do look awesome though, with all the snow on it. Oh, I'm really glad I cleaned everything off earlier, because you know we got a lot of stuff here. I'm gonna have to knock off that snow and get it all squared away, because I don't want it accumulating on there. And then what happens is it turns into ice, and then it slowly melts as the stove warms it up, and then it kind of trickles into the tent sometimes. So I've got little tiny pinholes all throughout my tent. So we're gonna grab Sierra's dog food, and then we're gonna head back inside, and hopefully this storm ends soon. Wow, here's looking on the driveway. I mean, this is full on winter. This is like the best winter storm that we had last year, other than the one that hit in May. All right, let's go back inside. I guess here's dog food in good shape. I'm gonna get all this off. It has been snowing since, I think, about noon. It was supposed to stop at 3, and here it is 5 o'clock, and it's still snowing. But I need to take Sierra out for restroom break, because she's already eaten all that stuff, and I want to get her all taken care of before it starts to get dark. We're starting to get shadows around here about 5:30, and so, you know, it's definitely like this tight corridor that we're in, this canyon, is going to make for some pretty early evenings. But we're going to go ahead and head out now and see how much snow we got here. Wow, that is a winter wonderland right there. It's still dumping. Hey, wait up, Sierra. Wait up, girl. Yeah, girl, it's not as bad as it was before. Good Lord, look at this. I've cleared that like 5 or 6 times, and it's still, it's like 3 inches right there. All right, you ready to go, girl? Let's go over here. Come through here. I know. Oh, I know. Let me see. Come on, come through. Right here, come close. Okay, the truck is completely covered. Look at you. You're just about as stoked as can be. Look at that. That's crazy. Wow. Here, I gotta take a look at the tent real quick to see what we've got. Yeah, we're gonna have to knock it off again. It's definitely got a lot of accumulation on it. But looking around here, though, I mean, good Lord. Talk about pretty. What do you think, girl? You want to go down? Want to go for a walk down the meadows? Oh my goodness. You looking at there. And she's off. This is way more accumulation than I thought. This is a lot more than I thought was going to be dumping today. What do you think, Sierra? We've already got a white Christmas and it's only October. You want to come with me? I am floored at the amount of snow we're getting up here already. My neighbors were telling me, though, they're like, it gets a ton of snow up there. So we could have stumbled upon like the best winter camping conditions, you know, out there. And so I'm kind of hoping that's the case, because I'm really excited about all this stuff. Let's go for a walk, Pumpkin. Come on. Hey, wait up. Wait up. I actually think I do have one neighbor down the road here, and I've not had a chance to meet him yet. And I was driving in last night, but the sun was in my eyes, and I didn't realize it was him coming at me. I just kind of waved, but I didn't really do anything special. I wish I would have recognized it was him, because I would have said hello. This is so peaceful around here. This is incredible. Hey, what do you say we turn around and go back, girl? Come over here, sweetie. Down here. go back. It's crazy. Snow all over you, Steve. Hang on. Right. That's gonna be a little wet. Alright, we got a little bit of a scenario that happened with the property, and what it was is that yesterday I was hanging out with my little number one girl here. We were at the tent, just kind of chilling. It was a pretty nice day, and a guy pulled up, and I thought, oh, I wonder if maybe if he's going the wrong way or something, or what, maybe he's lost or something, you know. And so anyway, this guy comes up and he's like, "You're on my land." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "No, you're on my land." And he was kind of upset, which I understand. I totally get it. After a long talk back and forth, I showed him my documents and everything. He's like, "I think you're on the wrong parcel." And I was like, "Oh no!" And so, come to find out, I was camping on the wrong parcel, and I'm actually above that, which is fine. I'm going to go there today and check it out. I think I actually looked at the parcel a few days ago when I was hiking up there before the snowstorm hit, because I wanted to hike up above and check out the cliffs above my place. But I saw this other parcel. I thought, man, this guy's got great views up here, because it's up higher and it's got more. I wouldn't have to build like a fire lookout tower. I can just have kick-ass views right away. And it's a little bit harder to get to, which I like. The only problem with that is in the wintertime, obviously, the access. I think from like January on, unless I get like a snowcat or something like, no, not a snowcat, but like a snowmobile or something like that, I probably won't be able to get up there. So, because they're already getting snow. I mean, this week there's supposed to be snow Wednesday through Sunday. So it's like, it just doesn't stop up there, which is great. But what I'll do is I'll spend like early season winter camping there, and then transfer over to the valley later in the season, and then you know, probably be done by March. Go back to Phoenix or to Arizona in March, and do some of my volunteer work out there. But that's what happened yesterday. I just want to give you all a quick update on that. So I'm heading back today to number one, check out that parcel in full, and it looks like, from what I'm seeing on Google Earth, it looks like it's a little bit flatter, which is nice, because that other one was really steep. I mean, I could hardly even hike up it. It was so steep. So this one's up on higher, and I think there's a little bit more like a little larger pad up there. The only thing is I think I do have to cut down some trees to get into it, because the access road that is the easements that I have, they are heavily treed, and the roads are cut, but they haven't been used in a while. And so I'm probably going to go up today and just clear that out, and then move the tent tomorrow, and then get ready for the snowstorm, which is going to start on Wednesday. And so that's what's up right now. Don't have a whole lot of information on the new parcel, the corrected parcel. I felt bad. The guy's name's Bob. He was a real nice guy, and I felt bad. He was upset initially, and I totally understand. I told him, I said, don't worry about it. Like, once we got everything kind of worked out, and he realized that I wasn't there camping illegally, it was just legitimately an error, he was cool about it, you know. And and then the other people in town are cool too. They're like, hey, they're like, you know, we talked to Bob, and I had some people comment on the channel, be like, hey, I talked to Bob, and you know, if you need help with locating your parcel, or if you need help locating the markers, like the pins on the four corners of the parcel, they're like, we'd love to help out. And then the caretakers that are staying up there for the wintertime, they messaged me. Their names are Jerry and Larry, and they're up there for the winter. And they're like, hey, they're like, swing by tomorrow, next time, you know, when you're rolling back in town, we'd love to meet you. And so that's what's going on. Definitely, it was a rough day yesterday. So I'm going to go back to the place today, film, probably come back in town on Monday, and get all the firewood I need and all that stuff, and get whatever supplies I need for that new parcel. And what will be nice is if it's where I think it is, the one that I saw, then it's a big enough area to where I can lay down my tent and also have my vestibule, which will be good, because my front door is still jacked up on my tent. and it's letting the cold air in. And so with these temperatures getting cooler, when you have that vestibule on it, it creates just like a buffer. So it's like you know how a wall tends to have like two walls and there's always that wall in between. It's just that pocket of insulation that I would have from the front vestibule, so that the wind wouldn't blow right into my tent. So that'll be nice to set that up. So I'm gonna get that all done probably tomorrow and get all set up, and then come back in town on Monday and get supplies. So that's what's going on. I'm in a hotel room right now. Obviously, we just got done having breakfast here in the making breakfast here in the room, and we're gonna head back up. So, but I'm kind of fried emotionally. I'm just tired. Yesterday was rough. All right, that's it. I'm gonna get packed up and run up to the new parcel and get this all figured out. So I'm gonna come back in town, like I said, on Monday. I'll have a new video for you guys, and we'll go from there. So. Well, it's a very condensation-filled morning here in the truck topper. It's about 25 degrees outside at the moment, and getting my coffee going. And we're back in the truck now, obviously, because that parcel wasn't mine, and I feel sheepish about it. But at least Bob was cool, and we've touched base since then, and everything's on the up and up. It took me about 2 days to break down the stuff over there and get the parcel back to looking like just no one was there. And so I've only got one more thing to do. I did make alterations to 2 of the boards on the side rails, like the railing that I had on the side, and I cut the edges off of one of them just because I kept hitting my head. And so I've got to run to town and get those. But there's a snowstorm coming, and it's supposed to be pretty big up here. I think they're expecting almost 20 inches of snow, and it's going to last for 5 days. And I'm not ready at all. I mean, I don't have a place to put my tent. The new parcel is awesome, and we'll go up there and I'll show you it here once the sun comes up. It's really going to be great. I've got to make some work to the road though, because the road's about wide enough for an ATV, and there's some sections that are wide enough for a car, but it's not completely. It's just over the years after they cut the road, you know, what happens is on these slopes, things will slough off and kind of go in the road. So some rocks and stuff like that I got to move. I moved the majority of them yesterday and cut down a lot of trees to get back up in there to get up to the pad, and the views are absolutely spectacular. And I like this parcel a little bit more for what I need, just because it's got the views, it's way up high. The road coming up here gets full sun in the wintertime, and so the little trail that I have coming up here is a little bit wider and easier to work with, and so I'll be able to probably clear the snow on that, at least for a portion of the winter, once I'm able to get my pad up here flat and done up. I've got some widowmaker trees I want to knock down. So the cool thing is I've been talking to the caretakers here. Their name's Jerry and Kevin, and I met another guy named Kevin. He was really cool too, and all those guys are great. I can totally tell I'm going to be good friends with them. They love the backcountry. That's why they moved out here, to be caretakers of this place, and they're super cool. So we hung out yesterday for a couple hours, I think a couple hours, or at least like an hour, watching some football and all that stuff, and just kind of kicking it. And they were telling me, they're like, man, we do all this awesome backcountry skiing and with snowmobiles and up along the wilderness area and the Continental Divide. I'm like, dude, I cannot wait for that stuff. So I'm really excited for it. But what we're doing right now, I just got my coffee going and got my little impromptu heater. What I do is I put this on low, and then I take a fan and put that on low and just push the air around a little bit, and that kind of helps to warm things up in here. Then we got little Sierra coming up. What you got, little sweetie? Oh, pumpkin. You slept good last night. We both slept good last night. We went to bed like 7 o'clock and we just got up, which is about 7 o'clock. I don't think I've had a 12-hour night's sleep in a long time, but I was so tired yesterday. I mean, I got in here and I was like, oh, I'm gonna eat dinner and listen to a podcast. I got about a quarter of the way through dinner and just fell asleep. And so, such is life, I guess, right? All right, let's just hang in here, and then we're gonna get up once the sun comes up and go check out our parcel. What do you think, Monkey? You wanna go outside, baby girl? You wanna go out and do a potty? Okay, there we go. All right, so our driveway starts right here. So I cut a bunch of trees and removed some. Somebody had stacked some trees right here. It goes up this way, and it goes up for quite some ways. So, come here, girl. Got really nice views looking out on the mountains around here. And I'm the last person on the top here. I'm surrounded, actually I thought I was one side with the National Forest boundary, but it's two sides, which is pretty awesome. So I can get my quad up here, but I can't get my truck up here. So we're gonna have to do some excavation work to make this road a little bit wider. I could probably do it right through here, but down the lower section, it's just too much debris is falling into the trail here. Okay, so here's the pad. And before I show you the view, I want to show you what I plan to do. I want to move this back a bunch more, so we're going to do a bunch of excavation. Got to knock out the widowmaker trees that are behind me here, which is nice because those are all pine trees and I'll have a ton of firewood from that. Got some other trees here that have been knocked down. The road up, as you can see, it's pretty tight. It's lined with a bunch of Christmas trees, so if anybody needs a tree, just come up and get it. And once I'm up here, it's literally like my own little island in the sky. I've got national forest boundary there, and national forest boundary there. And then here is the view, and this is absolutely stellar. It's still, sun's still coming up, but you'll get an idea of what I'm looking at here. So that's my view looking west into the river corridor right there. And I'm really excited. Looking over this way, just more aspen trees over in this part of the valley over here. And coming up, you can probably see a little bit better once the sun comes up. We can really get an idea of it. But this is all aspens right here in this valley here. Because back when the area was a mining camp, they just, it was actually, there was only about maybe, I don't know, a handful, maybe a dozen or so of actual cabins, and the rest of it was all tents. And they had 5,000 people living up here mining way back in the day, which is crazy. So what you thinking, girl? One thing about this pad though is I'm not gonna be able to get set up in time because I gotta knock down those trees because those are our threats before winter camping. And so this next storm that's coming in, that's supposed to be hitting in 2 days, is supposed to dump up to, I think up to like 20 inches up here. And so I think that what we're gonna do is I'm gonna talk to my friends Jerry and Kevin, see what their plans are for the storm. Maybe see if I could set up on their property because they got a pretty big parcel over at the caretaker's place. And then kind of hang with them a little bit during the storm. And then they'd come out and kick it in the tent and kind of see what that's like. Because the thing is I've got like my fire logs, the processed ones, all squared away, but I need to get a bunch of just dry wood, and I don't have it right now. And so I just don't have enough time. With the storm hitting on Wednesday, I got to run to town and do a bunch of errands. I don't have time to get all that wood in order for the snowstorm. So we'll see what my plans are. I may just have to go truck camp during the snowstorm and go to some lower elevations. All right, everybody, here's the views during the daytime. Here's the pad that I have right here. Here's the mountain views. What's nice is I get really good solar at this spot. So I've only got shade between those two trees and then this tree right here, and the sun like snakes down right there. And by the time it gets down to that point, the solar's not very good. But looking through the river corridor, or I guess the river canyon here, this is kind of like my central view right here. Looking this way. I mean, I can't get much better than that. And then what's nice is if I come over here, oh, here's the back part of my parcel. So like I was saying before, I've got these trees I'm going to knock out, and I've got a green belt that's right here, and then it goes like this, and then the Forest Service boundary is right behind it. So I butt up to the Forest Service on the north side, and then also the east side here. And then we got a tiny little bit of the cliffs peeking through right there. There's always cliffs behind here, so it'll be fun hiking up there after a bit once I get everything settled. But there's lots of dead standing trees there, lots of big pines. And although, you know, sometimes that wood isn't the best, at least it's nice and dry and I can use it for firewood. And same with all the stuff that's right here. So I'm looking at this as kind of like as almost like a decade-long project. The first couple of years we're just going to be getting the pad and the parcel 100% in order because we're going to have to do a lot of work here with some heavy machinery. But once I do, I'll be able to build some really neat structures, and I want to build a couple different small structures and kind of have cool walking paths in between them, you know, and kind of have it that way. And I was thinking this spot right here would be stellar for the wood-fired hot tub because look at this view. Can you believe that? That's all aspen trees right there. So in the fall time, I'll have an entire valley of aspen tree views and all up the side of the hills over there and into the meadows and all those things. And I just couldn't be more thrilled. I mean, obviously I was disappointed when I learned that I was set up in the wrong spot. I felt real sheepish about that and was like, man, this is not what I do. And I felt horrible for Bob, you know, having to drive all the way out here to check out this spot, because Bob was a former caretaker out here for a number of years. So I definitely want to be on his good side. And plus, too, he's my neighbor, and he seems like a cool guy. once we got things sorted out. So, but it's just going to take a little bit for me to get this pad squared away. But I mean, I cannot tell you how much, I just can't tell you how thrilled I am with these views. And everybody I've met in town has just been awesome. So everybody here in this little community has just been stellar, and I'm going to do the best that I can to keep it quaint. I'm not saying where I'm at, nor will I. You guys just know I'm in the San Juan Mountains, but I'm not saying where I'm at. So somewhere on the western slope. But what we're going to do now is I think we're going to roll back into cell range for a couple days. I got a bunch of work to get caught up on. I had a couple companies I was talking to about a few things, and they responded, and I haven't had a chance to respond yet because I haven't been in cell range. So we're going to get cranking. I'm going to take my stuff, and my realtor was real nice. He said, hey, since I made this error, you know, honest mistake, he's like, I've got a parcel that's real close to actually an area where I have a family member buying a parcel out here. And he said, why don't you just go set up over there with your tent until you can get access? Or he's like, just set up there. You know, he goes, you can set up all winter if you want. So I'm going to go figure out a spot over there where I can set up and probably just dump my gear there for the meantime. Not set up yet, but come back before the snowstorm starts on Wednesday night and get going. Anyway, let's take the quad down first, and then we'll pack everything up on the trailer and take it down second.